Welcome back everybody. Let's do some drawing. Today something a little bit different. Gonna sketch something out first with pencil and then ink it and see how we do. I haven't a clue what I'm drawing, so I'm gonna draw some shapes and go from there. X marks the spot. Let's go. So I've been just trying to think what to do actually, because I don't know. Normally I have realised that I tend to draw just the ink in itself, and someone messaged and mentioned it and thought maybe it would be useful to sort of, do a little bit of a showcase of how I draw, and well, not so much how I draw, but how images take shape for me. But I haven't got a rubber today. I've left it downstairs, so as usual, the professional. So I'm just gonna, whatever I sort of come up with, that will be it, I think. But it looks like a little character from the game idea of it. See if we can do something a little bit different today, because we've done a lot of that, and we'll see if we can make something a little bit more interesting. So what should we do with this character? We've got a nice little pose already, sort of basic. There's the back arm sort of coming around the front. I'll leave that there for a second. Leave that there. Oh, actually I've got an idea. So we've drawn a lot of characters, but we haven't done much with the actual interaction with the half ship, the main place where you go when you're for safety and whatnot. So I've got an idea that could be quite cool. So here we go. I'm going to put this character here, and let's get my weapon. I don't think we draw very many weapons on the videos itself, so I draw like a long, gnarly looking saw sort of weapon. Yeah, and figure out the hands later on, and see if we can draw the mask a bit more interesting when we get to that point, and just sort of leave it for now. And I like the hair moving, so we need something else sort of giving that sense of movement and air, and sort of a really strong breeze down here as well. So sort of draw a more feral character, like the berserker ones we've been drawing, and you know what, it's kind of looking just like Herloff, so that's fine. I think just a little bit of a slightly slimmer version. That's okay. Go on, we'll do, I don't know if you need shoulder pads, or maybe we'll just do lots of wraps on the arm, so there's a bit more going on, then not too much. I'm going to do some straps on the blade, and the handle. I don't know if the hair's a little bit too long, but it's kind of cool at the moment. And sort of, let's draw something like that, and it looks like a bone at the moment, but I'm hoping that something will just sort of make sense to me in a second, and I carry on drawing that. Oh, it's like a big handle. So yeah, sometimes I just sort of draw and hope for the best, really, and more often than not, it kind of works out. So we'll do that today. A little bit of sketchy madness. So maybe it's some sort of weird lid sort of thing. That'd be kind of cool. We could do that. Like that. My table's shaking a little bit, so I'll just hold on to it a little bit. Instead of a lid, I wonder if we could have had a sort of like a creature's skull, maybe. It could be kind of cool. And sort of change this and change that. So like maybe it's a large, like, reminds me of like almost like a whale. We stretch that out. Maybe there's no top bit, just sort of like cavern. I might put some details in there at some point, just to give a bit more to it than simply space. Okay. And then we'll, you know what, we'll make it up as we go. I'm not going to worry too much. But so far it's actually looking alright. Maybe it's like a dragon skull. Maybe we could do that. Put some teeth. Yeah, cool. Almost like a beak on the end. I'll do a big horn there as well. Cool. Not sure what else we should do with that, but hopefully someone will shout out to me when we're getting the actual inking done. Yeah. What this stood on. Maybe not stood on anything, almost like flying. So in that case, we probably need to do a bit more of something to kind of show that it can support this character's weight. Okay. We do some sort of rib cage on a sternum here. And we don't want just a normal sternum, we'll have to mix it up a little bit. I guess that's a very large clavicle, a collarbone. And some ribs. Clearly can't count because I forgot to do the same number of ribs on this side as well, but I think we slipped in one there and yeah. And then maybe it's got a really elongated sternum that sort of changes, and we put the wings out like this. Wings? Clavicles out like this. And I wonder if we could actually, you know what, maybe we'll change it a little bit. I've got an idea. Yeah, be a very weird one, but I think it might just be able to get away with it. So, okay, so we've got a sword, but I'm going to make that into somewhat of a weird flintlock rifle. A flintlock rifle, cleaver-like weapon. Or like saw or something. That's kind of cool. A little hook there, and I'll put some little skulls and things like that. And how's this going? Very messy, isn't it? But it'll be okay. And then what we'll do is we'll draw. So maybe there's another spike here. It's a very weird one, but I've got an idea. Have lots of rope, and yes, let's make a pirate. Sort of a weird pirate character. Some more rope here, and then be brave and throw one right there as well. Cool. I'll do some spiky bits on the back, so almost like a dragon's crown. This is chaos, so I have to try and make sense of this at some point. All right, let me zoom in and we'll carry on. All right, let's do, so even though he's a pirate, we're still going to give him this sort of, the game sort of creepy skull mask thing, because I got carried away and I thought, well, I might as well draw it anyway. So, cool. There are lots of hair, but not as much as I did, because I think it was a bit drowning and there's already going to be a lot of stuff going on in the image, so I think we'll be okay. You know, and it wouldn't be a pirate if we didn't have tentacles, so that's, he's like a sort of Davy Jones sort of character as well. So I'll do some little squiddy bits. Not very good squiddy bits, but squiddy bits nonetheless. Cool. And then finish off with some hair up here. And another little squiddy bit there. Like that. Cool. And then let's have a beard, even though it's not fully Davy Jones. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to draw nice and softly, because otherwise I find that these micron pens tend to bleed a little bit, and you can get quite a lot of thick line even out of the thinner pens, which is not what we want. We want quite delicate lines. And then give it a little jacket, sort of thing, and then the rest of the jacket there, and we'll sort of have the jacket meter. See, this is that thickness I was talking about just now, and do a little wrap around like here. You know, like these pirates have like I was thinking more like Johnny Depp's character having that, you know, all those random things he has wrapped around his waist, and it's quite a cool image actually to work with. Cool. And then another little bit there, a little hole, a little rip there at the bottom, and then some buttons, some little marks. And because he's turning, slightly, we'll have the lines of the coat sort of wrap around behind slightly. That makes sense. And a little elbow pad. Elbow pad? A very high up elbow pad. Perhaps even a shoulder pad. That would make a little bit more sense, wouldn't it? And then we'll draw the top of the shirt. Do some little crease marks. And then here we have some sort of leather guard. And we've got a little belt here, little buckle. And then we'll do the same here, just to make sure it's not, you know, it's not too boring. Just a little bit of something. Some lines here, just no other reason. I just thought I needed a little bit more. And then the frills, is that what it's called? The frills of the shirt on the end. And then, where's his thumb? How's he holding this? Don't know. Maybe he's turned, no, he's just, I'll come back to that. I can't figure it out in my head right now. And then we'll put the other side of the shirt, well, the sort of a jackety shirt thing. I don't know what it is. And then we'll put the little end bits here. A little bit messy, but it's kind of nice actually, just to draw messy sometimes. Like that. And then we've got this other arm here coming around. And that's another sort of leather bit. I'm going to put a few straps and wraps here. Probably needed more tentacles, but that's fine, we can get away with that. And then we want his one thumb sort of there, one of his fingers there. It's a very thick, thin finger, isn't it? And then we'll do some weird contraption inside. So it's kind of like one of those Final Fantasy sword guns things. I think that's where I was going in my head, but who knows. I don't think it will have as long a barrel as I've drawn. I guess it'll be more close quarters. Oh, I'm off camera. Sorry about that. Oh, close quarters. There's a saw blade bit. And we'll just do a few little details. Something like that. And sort of some old powder burn like things, and I'm not really sure how this gun works. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it. It's just kind of cool looking. Cool. And then here we'll start drawing the ropes, and they won't be too detailed, just as long as it gives a sense of you know, a little bit of movement, and it's more interesting than just a straight line. I think we'll call that a win. Excellent. Okay. And we'll do another little bit there. Cool. Cool. And then we'll just do this little bit. We're not gonna, you know, draw all the rope, otherwise we'd be here all day. Just enough. Just enough to look cool. Little thread there and a little thread there. Yeah, we don't want it looking too neat, do we? We want a little bit of life to it. Okay. And then, tell you what, let's go up. Let's start drawing this big chap. So we want lots of teeth. Not too much detail, just enough that sort of gives a sort of a creepy, dangerous feel to the creature itself. In its prime, it would have been quite a dangerous creature, I'd imagine. You know what? Maybe it's not even a dragon. Maybe it's some sort of oh yeah, you know what? Let's have a kraken. Let's make a kraken. We'll change a few bits as we go along, but that could be cool. And these, instead of the ribs in not a rib cage, then we can make it like I'm not sure how it would work, but like skeleton octopus limbs. I don't think that's quite how it works, but we'll pretend it is for this video. Cool. Nice. Cool. What else can we do? What else can we do that's fun and a little bit different? Because obviously if I'm drawing loads of teeth, it'll be good that they have something special about them. So maybe we won't do too many. We'll just do a sort of nice amount. And we won't have the hair coming right through here. I think that was a bit too much. But we'll have just enough that it gives sort of a nice feel. I'll do these little strandly little bits in there because they look cool. Nice. And have this top of the jaw. It's all the inner bit, sorry, not the top, but and then we'll do some little teeth as well. So it won't be neat. Be nice and messy. Real monster's mouth, you know. That's what we want. We want to have the feel of something very weird and not natural. No. I don't want anything, well, I don't want anyone to look at it and be like, oh, that's a shark. You know, I want people to look at it and be like, what is that monstrosity? That's what we're going for. We're going through a monstrosity. Proper monster like. Cool. And we're drawing nice and quick. Well, quickish today. So hopefully we'll get a fair amount of this beastie done in not too long. I'm going to do some more lines. Some nice squiggly bits just to try and add a little bit of texture. What should we call this beast? We'll call her Margaret. I had an auntie called Margaret. She wasn't particularly beastly, but that's who we shall name her after. Margaret. The beastie. Right. I'm sure she'd find that quite funny, actually. Okay, and then we'll do the thumb like that. And then her. Not sure, actually. We'll do the thumb like that and fingers like that. And then some nice big gnashes, like so. Okay. See, this is when we need to do a live video, so you can tell me you're out of focus or you're off camera, which would be very, very helpful actually. Maybe I should do live videos for every video. But I was thinking for the 750, because we've just hit 650, which is incredible, subscribers. So huge thank you to all of you, and if you would like to see a live video, let me know. I'm very much in for that. I think that'd be great. Yeah. So then every time I go off page or start losing track of what I was talking about, one of you can be like, you're rubbish at being professional, which I know. But it'd be nice to know, Nice to be told in the moment. Right, am I still on camera? Hey, look at that. Okay, right. Alright, cool. Oh, that rope, I don't know about that rope now, but I feel like if we take it away, we'll lose a little bit of something, but maybe I'm wrong. Right, how will the jaw sort of fit? Probably should have been like that, yeah. Okay. So if we sort of do something along these lines, I think that'll be fine. And wrap that round. There's some big holes. Cool. And then we'll just put a few more details and like weird thready like bone bits, just to add a little bit of something underneath this little bit of the jaw. Again, there's no reason other than I think it looks cool, so we'll stick with that. It's worked for me so far, I hope, I think. Alright, and do some more details up here. Not really going crazy with the details today, just want it to look interesting, that's all. I'm just sort of going around trying to make sure everything's balanced in my head. Everything's got a little bit of something to look at. There's no just normal boring bits. And we are. Cool. Alright, let's pause there and find new angle. New angle found. Seamless editing. Right. There was no editing, I just moved camera and paused it, but I was pretending that I knew what I was doing with editing. Luckily, it's not me that does any of the editing, it's someone a lot smarter than me, so that always makes a big difference. Right. So we're doing the rope, which I'm amazed I remembered, because usually I would forget about now what the plan was in the drawing and gone and done something completely different. I'll leave a little gap there, I'm going to leave a little gap there, because I have a plan for a little bit of rope interaction. It's not a sentence I use very ominously, well, commonly. What am I on about? Alright, there we go. And then, cool. And then we'll carry on this rope here. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I thought a little bit I was going to do them, but that's alright. Maybe I can get away and do that. Yeah, it's fine. Right. So this rope comes around here, goes through this little bit, and then about there, isn't it? Oh, actually you can do it behind this creature's head as well. That's cool. It's just a mouth, apparently. That's fine. Cool. You don't want too much going on in this bit. In fact, some of the lines aren't even touching, just so there's a bit more gap. And because I can't draw a straight line very well, I've done a little bit of a curve in the rope. Oh, and a weird random line. So we'll wrap up here. Hopefully not interact with the teeth too much, because that would look messy and I don't like that. Very particular with lines, I am. I think I know what I'm doing, but honestly it's all a bit of a make it up as I go. And do some, just to show there's a bit more movement in there, because I drew a random line that's sort of added to the jaw bit. There we go. Yeah, that's almost. You know what? Of course it's accurate. I've just made up the creature. It doesn't make any difference how it looks. It's fine. Right, so we've got the end bit of this gun thing. It goes through there, so we'll have it up here this time. And then we'll just wrap it. Very, very basic, but a little bit of dark stuff in the background. Made nice actually to bring out the character forward in my head. And then how should this creature be? I'm just going to make up bone structures now. So how would it look? We could do this rope, as I think actually that would be a good idea. I was looking at the camera then, I'm not looking at the page. Nice. It's nice and cool in this room today, which is a lovely thing. I normally complain it's too hot, but it's quite nice to complain sometimes. They'd be like, oh, it's too hot in the UK. It's a strange thing to be like, but it's a strange thing to complain about. Right. Okay. And then how far should we go down? About there. And we'll carry on drawing this character. So here's little trousers. There, little trousers. A little bit of stitching. And then sort of like knee pads. And a little strap. And then sort of a big piratey sort of boot. Big piratey booty. Have I drawn his leg too short? It looks really short here. Leg, knee, oh maybe I did, yeah. Try and hide a bit more knee pad there, but that's okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. Oh yeah, it looks really short. Maybe it's the angle. Anyway, and then the other booty here. I do a little handle here sticking out. You know, obviously, being a pirate, need lots of hidden blades and goodies for your adversaries. Nice. And then the back of the coat we'll just do there, and just do a little bit of line work. Not too much, just to, you know, show there's a bit of a gap. I think I know what I'm on about. Maybe I don't. And then that's sort of the coat, kind of ripped and ragged. Oh, sorry, got dog hair in my mouth. Ugh. Alright. Do some very wonky lines. I will absolutely at some point cross one of the lines. Oh, so far, so good. And speed up a little bit, and nice. Cool. Yeah, for the laces. Good job, man. There we go. Got a little bit of a heel. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. Okay. Sort of how these ropes sort of breaking off as well. And then there's another rope. I think there was another rope down here. Or maybe I'll draw. So maybe that rope is kind of split into two. And then we could do this one down here as well. So I get the impression that this pirate, or someone aboard this weird vessel, has slain a monstrous sea creature and made a boat of it. When I started drawing, that was not the plan. I mean, granted, there was no plan, but kind of cool. Right, let me make another camera angle. 2 secs. I don't know why I need to say 2 seconds. I can just move the camera angle. Anyway, right, we'll do some little spine bits. And then we need to get to the sternum somehow. So, I mean, or it could be one big sternum-y thing, couldn't it? I'm not really sure. I don't really know the anatomy of a kraken, believe it or not. I do like weird bony bits, and then we'll do the, actually, you know what, we'll start the sternum-y. Sternum-y? The Sterminator. The sternum. God. You know when you think of a word too many times and then it kind of feels weird coming out of your mouth? Yeah, I just had that then in a big way. Sternum. Sternum? It sounds wrong to me now. Anyway. I'll do kind of like, we'll just make up how I think the sort of inner workings of a big fishy monster would look like. You know, nothing scarier than eating fish and getting a bone. So if we do lots of little fishy bone things sticking everywhere, that will spark fear into anyone that eats fish. So silly. Right, okay. And I realized that if we've got this big creature, we need to have it sort of part of the ship, right? So if we put a mast, I mean, we kind of have a mast here anyway. So if we draw a mast here, like that, let me not go off the page this time. And then we'll come back to that. We bring it all the way down, almost straight. And then we'll sort of try and get it back into the drawing itself down here. Yeah, cool. And we want lots of scratches and broken bits in the mask. Mask? Mass. Oh, God, words are not my thing today at all. Mast. Mast? Yeah, that's it. I don't know, I'm struggling with talking so much. Right, so we got a nice big beam. Nice big beam of wood. We'll put another rope here. Make it nice and messy. That's what we want. We want messiness. Can we put a rope anywhere here? I didn't leave any gaps. I usually do. That's okay. We'll figure this one out. And then I leave one here. Not really, but we're going to slightly put one in this little bit. And then we're going to wrap this rope to this one with a little knot. And I guess that somewhat controls that part of the fish. I wonder if they use it as like a giant, like a puppet thing. That'd be kind of cool. Giant puppet fish. It's very morbid, isn't it? Giant skeleton puppet fish monster thing. Ship. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds legit. Okay, and we need another rope. We'll do another rope coming off here, somewhere over there. We won't do a huge amount of detail on that. It just needs to be kind of in the background just to show that there is something more going on over here. We'll do another rope badly drawn there. And a nice knot. I don't think you would use a shoelace knot on a giant rope on your mat, but that's what we got working with, so we'll do that. Cool. Might need to rub this out actually, and then sort of figure out where we're going, because it's very messy to draw with. I have no idea what the plan was at this point. I've kind of lost track. But we're going to do our first weird tentacle thing here. Like that. Cool. And that kind of looks cool, kind of creepy at the same time. And then we'll draw another one here with a little chip in it. So I wonder if this creature's still animated, you know. I wonder if it's, you know, undead. It's an undead giant Kraken monster ship thing. You know how it is. Dime a dozen they are. All over the place. Right, okay. And then we need to sort of draw tentacles as well. Let me move the camera. Oh, I said it again. I don't need to. Seamless transition. And then we'll start drawing this one as well. I'm going to draw sort of the suction cuppers. I think it's super weird there's creatures out there with suction cups. Maybe it's just me that thinks that, but aren't they cool? I think I've talked about octopus before, actually. Sorry, octopi. Pretty sure I have in the past. Just think the closest thing to an alien. Actually, speaking of alien, I've been watching that Alien Earth show, and that's pretty cool. Kind of weird, but kind of digging it, actually. And then we'll do the other side of the tentacle coming out. Like that. Cool. We don't need to finish the tentacles or anything, we just need to have it sort of in frame, because that's what we want. We want to have that mystery of what's behind, you know, what's going on. I don't want to give too much away in the image. Leave some for the imagination, you know. Yeah, we don't need to overdose the old details on this one. I can get away with a little bit less is more on this one. And then we want sort of another tentacle up here would be a bit messy, maybe down here, and sort of do it so the tentacles sort of disappear. Well, not the tentacles, sorry, the suction cups disappear, and sort of wrap around here a little bit. So I'm drawing a really weird angle because I'm trying to look around where I've put the phone, so I hope I'm not drawing bizarrely. It looks okay where I am, but I've made a mistake before. Dare say I will probably make a few more. Right. Lots of nice little creases. For Margaret, the giant squid, monster, boat, undead creature. And then background here. So that tentacle's in front of that rope. And then we'll do another rope here just to sort of give it a little bit more twisted wonderfulness, you know. Nice, cool. Cool. I am in focus, right? Yeah, I'm in focus. Professional. And then, so the tentacles are sort of wrapped around, that's what I'm trying to get at. They've gone right round and they're going to start popping out this side, which I hope that's what conveys in the image. Probably doesn't. Cool. Alright, nice. Right, new angle. Right. We're gonna do a flag. I haven't got a sketch ready for this. I just thought it'd be more fun to sort of draw it off the top of my head and see how we do. This will look at really well, really badly. There's no middle. So hopefully not the really badly one. Wish me luck. So I've got lots of nice little ropes and a little rope there, little rope here. And sort of have that wrapping around and then I guess his hair's coming this way, so the flag's gotta go that way too. And so if we put the flag like that, wrap around itself, going behind, and then like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's alright, isn't it? Keep checking I'm in focus. I'm really worried I'm not. Right. And lots of little frayed bits in the end. I think that's quite cool actually, I like that. Nice, and I have no idea what we're going to put on the flag. Well, what do we call it? The Marg. The Margaret, wasn't it? So we'll call it the Mar. That'd be kind of cool. And if you're just sort of jumping parts of the video and come to this point and we're talking about the Mar, we're talking about the creature ship thing. Yeah. Yeah, well, that makes no sense, does it? Cool, the Mar, yeah. Do some little line. Cool, and some there. And we don't want to do too much. We've got plenty going on anyway. Right. Alright, I thought I'd do a few more details. So finish off character's hair. And make it nice and long, but not too long. We don't want to put too much in the drawer and make it messy. Well, any more messy than it is. There's a bit of chaos going on, but not too bad. Yeah. What else can we do? Yeah, I like the tentacles actually. I wish I had left a bit more space for a few more. Anyway, it's fine. And then what else can we do? I think that's quite nice the way it is, and you know, have it a little bit half finished on the end and stuff like that. You know, I should have bought the rubber. In fact, what we could do is just draw a little bit of do a few pencil work bits in here. You know, just bring a bit of shade in, but sort of enjoy the messiness of it and not be too worried about all the other marks. Maybe that would be a nice little practice for me. You know, not trying to worry so much about getting things just right. And there's the other, like a weird flower thing now. Oh no. It's changed changed what it is again. Like some sort of shapeshifter. Cool. So we got another one there. We got ropes coming down here to whatever going on over there. We got a rope that's all over the place here. Yeah, let's do some shading. Let's make it more messy. Right, let me move you out a bit. Right, let's carry on. We're going to do some quick shading just to give this character a little bit more going on. Yeah, nothing special or nothing too over the top. Just felt like the character needed a little bit more going on. Just enjoying the chaos of this drawing. It's been a lot of fun actually, just making up as I go along. Sort of trying to let the lines dictate where to go next. Always enjoy that. You know, kind of drawing shapes and seeing how we go, and yeah. I wonder how it looks with a pencil. Hope it looks alright. doing the best job, but also not doing... The leg's really weird. Look at that. It's curved the wrong way. Oh, that's bizarre. Didn't even notice that. Cool. Yeah, so how was everyone today? If any of you are drawing, apologies if my rambles have impacted your drawing in a negative way or made you giggle. Right. Cut around the back ones and we will leave the front ones alone, I think, here. Maybe a little bit of interaction there. And then the inside bit. I can hear my dog at the door. I think he probably wants a cuddle. Or a little battle. He likes battles. Right. I'll carry on with these tentacles. Are we still on camera? Hey, look at that. Nice. I'm going to do a little bit more shading. Again, it's a little bit messy, isn't it? But this is quite nice to just kind of draw messy and not worry. Plus, the more little drawings I do like this, the more I can procrastinate from actually drawing what I need to for the board game idea. Which I feel like, you know, if I get to that point, I have to draw it really, really well. So maybe it's just how I'm procrastinating. But in a, like, creative way, right? I think that's okay. Maybe it's not. Oh, so I think we're pretty much done, really. I mean, it's just a little bit of shading to do, and then we're done. But yeah, I'm curious about this ship now, and how did it come to be? Is it still animated? Is it undead? Is this just how Margaret is? I don't know. I really don't know. I wonder how many people have just watched and thought, God, you ruined it with a pencil. Oh, dear. Yeah, with all the other sketchy stuff, it looks a bit all over the place, doesn't it? But you know what? I'm embracing it today. You're embracing it. Cool. And then just these strange tentacle bone things down here. I said some weird sentences today in this video. Tentacle bone things. Righto. It's a normal thing to say, isn't it? Cool. Did the mast. Yay. I can speak words again. Nice. And then we'll just do a little bit of shade on that in a bit. And that little bit there. Don't need to do more than that. Weird, dangerous to eat bones of the fish creature. And we are pretty much done. Right. How's that? It's looking alright, isn't it? I think we're happy with that. I'm happy with that. I don't know about you, but I am. Right, let me find a nice angle to finish off in. And there we have it. A pirate, barbarian, tentacled, gunslinger kind of dude with a... Look, I've got a dent from where I had my pencil, my pen. And a shark, dragon, kraken, undead, but not undead, creature boat. Perfect. I can't wait to write the thumbnail name for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your time here with this silliness, and hope you have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.